I'm going to be showing you how to install a vanity into our newly finished bathroom. The one we've selected today has a couple of drawers and one door on the side, but it's important to remember when you're selecting for yourself, you get something that meets your needs. The tools that we're going to require are a measuring tape, wall plugs, your hammer drill, your hole saw, a couple of screws, screwdriver, your knife, pencil, cordless drill, spirit level, and of course, your protective equipment. So the first step we're going to do is measure up where our vanity is actually going to fit and where we have to make the cuts for our pipes. Now we're working with a 900 vanity today, so we have 1200 here, so that'll be plenty of room for our 900 to fit. So first mark we need to make will be at the halfway mark, which is going to be 600. Now because we know our vanity is 900, it's going to be 450 each side from that mark. So let's measure that up, see how we can find out where it's going to fit. Place your tape measure on the line, find the point of 450 on this side and on this side like so. The next step is we want to find out where we're going to do our cuts for our holes, for our plumbing work to fit through. Measure from one side to the middle of our pipe, just here. And we'll also do exactly the same for the second pipes on the side here. So the next set of measurements we'll need to do is coming out from the wall to find out how far across and how far from the wall we're actually going to fit our pipes straight down. So again, just looking for the middle of the pipe and the same on the other side as well. So now that I've got my measurements, I've written them down on a piece of paper so that when I go to work on my vanity, I know exactly where I have to cut. As you can see, this is the back of the vanity here. They usually come with your backing panels. Today I've taken them off to make it a bit easier to get access to where we have to do our cuts and measurements. Going from the very, very edge, from our measurements that we took inside, our first measurement is going to be 390. And then from the wall, our measurements was 60. So we're going to find 60. And we find the 2 points where they meet and put a nice big mark to see where we have to cut. Then we do the same for the other pipes. And there we have our 2 markings for our hole saws to go through. Very important part of this is to make sure you get your hole saw bigger than the pipes that we have. So when we slide our vanity over the top, it fits nice and easy. So before we start to drill, just make sure you've got the center of your drill bit aiming right at the middle of where you put your X, and you'll get a perfect cut every time. So now we've got our holes drilled and ready to go for our pipes to go in. So now what we need to do is take our vanity back into our bathroom and slot it over our pipes. We've put our backing panels back in so it looks brand new. The next step we're going to do is insert some screws into the sides here so we can secure it to the wall and it's not going to move. So before we fasten this to the wall, we're just going to make sure it's nice and level. And everything looks fantastic. So let's get started. What we're going to do is just make 2 incisions into the wall in the back of our vanity so we can secure it nice and safe. So now that we've drilled our holes, we can put our wall plugs in and our screws to secure it to the wall. So with our wall plugs, very, very simple. We cut a little bit off our roll. All we do is push it straight into the hole. So now what I've done, I've put my wall plug in as far as I can go. Now there's a little bit extra hanging off. I'm just going to cut it off with my knife. Like so. So once we've done that, we're right to drill our screws straight into the vanity now. So now that we've screwed that in, just give it a little check. I'll give it a little bit of a pull, make sure it doesn't move. And what we've done here looks perfect. So now we're just going to do one last check to make sure everything's nice and level. Perfect. So now that we've screwed our vanity to the wall, we're now nearly at the end point. We can now put on our drawers and our tops, and the rest is up for our plumber to do. And there we have it. That's how you install a vanity in your bathroom.